Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video to get into because we're going to go ahead and recap the Pokemon Presents, and I'll give you my thoughts on everything that went on there and give you some extra details you might not know. And we're also going to go over a bunch of new Switch 2 pictures that have just leaked from very reliable sources. So let's just go ahead and get into this video. So before we actually get into the video, the first thing I want to say is today is my birthday, and I am so thankful on my birthday to not only be able to celebrate my birthday, but to be able to look back at the past year and see how much our community has grown. And I am very, very thankful. Whether you've been here from the start or you are a newer subscriber, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this community. It really means the world to me. So we have a very interesting video to get into today. Before I do that, hit a like and subscribe. And as a birthday gift, follow my social media. So follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That would really mean the world. And let's just go ahead and get into it. So first, let's start by recapping the Pokemon Presents. I'll be honest, the first 10-15 minutes of it, I didn't really care about at all. There was a moment earlier in the presentation where I thought they were going to maybe make a virtual console for all the older games when they were showing all the older generations. As we know, that didn't happen, but the first thing I want to talk about is the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Champions. And we knew there was a game similar to this that was leaking out. I think it was called Project Synapse, and this came out of those big Pokemon Terra Leagues. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited. I'm not sure if you grew up with the Nintendo 64 era, but this is essentially a newer version of Pokemon Stadium. And when you think about it, there's a good chance that this could be around for decades. I'm not even exaggerating. Legit decades. And they said this is gonna come to the Nintendo Switch consoles as well as mobile. So you would assume, at least I assumed that this was gonna be free to play, right? But we actually have some extra details, and it says Pokemon Champions will be a digital-only game and will be a paid title, not free. Also, Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required for online play, and that normally isn't required for free-to-play games, you know what I mean? So this just kind of lets us know this is going to be a paid game. The only other game I can think about that is free-to-play where you also need a Nintendo Online membership is Tetris 99, I think. There might be other games, but Tetris 99 is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. That being said, it still looks like a really fun game. Now, the major thing we got is new gameplay, or the first gameplay, I guess, of Pokemon Legends ZA. And initially, I want to say the first 30 seconds, I thought, I don't know about this. But as the trailer went on, I started to get more optimistic, and I am a lifelong Pokemon fan, so I know my judgment is a little clouded. And there was some issues I had in the trailer, yes, it looked better than Scarlet and Violet, but it still looked pretty janky if I'm being honest. I'll keep in mind this is a Nintendo Switch game, so hopefully there'll be a Switch 2 upgrade or a Switch 2 patch or something, and then whenever we get a Switch 2 Pokemon game, it will look better. But it's Game Freak, and they just seem not to put that much effort into it lately. So a few details I want to go over is first, Lumio City is where this game will take place. The entire game, from what I'm understanding, will take place in one city. And it's okay, I was hoping for some other locations, but I'm sure there'll be a little bit of diversity. Now, the thing that I find so funny is Pokemon live with you in this city, but they're sectioned off to these little areas, and you have to go into those areas and capture them. It's like the Pokemon live in the hood basically, and you need to go there and abuse them and then steal them. So yeah, that's something. The starters, I can't remember all of them, but I know there's Chikorita and Totodile. I actually like Chikorita, so I'm not mad at that. The big thing is now the battling. You can do dodges and real-time actions, which is so cool, and it's basically how the anime is, at the last second you can say dodge or get out of the way, or depending on what attack you're using, the attack will have a wider range to hit the enemies. So some attacks will be able to reach a Pokemon further, some will have a shorter range, and it just seems really cool. So another thing is they said this game is coming late in 2025, but in the Japanese presentation they actually say fall 2025. So I'm almost 100% certain this is going to be a November release. And yeah, I'm excited to see more gameplay and more footage of this, but I'm excited. I'm optimistic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some Nintendo Switch 2 news. And we have some new Switch 2 pictures to go over. And these are all leaking from very credible places. I think the very first person who ever accurately leaked the Nintendo Switch 2. The person who had real Switch 2s in hand and was doing weird stuff and leaking it out, and then it became 100% exactly what they had. I think they leaked these on Famiboards or something like that, but let's just start checking it out. So first we have this new look at, what is this? Like, I think this is called a grip. So the Switch 2 grip. And I was really hoping they would do something different for the Nintendo Switch 2 because I really do hate this design. It is what it is. There's not that much I could really do realistically. But it seems to have this attachment to where, if I'm understanding correctly, this will clip on to the back. Like, I think the socket can go right here somehow. At least that's what it seems like, right? And then you'll be able to put your Joy-Cons on this and then plug this directly into the wall. It seems kind of stupid, but I actually don't hate it at the same time. Especially if you have multiple Joy-Cons, you could charge some on your actual Switch 2 and you could put other ones on this and just plug this into the wall. So does it look kind of dumb? Sure, but it actually has a use. And yeah, I think this leaked on Famiboard, so this might be something that never sees a light of day, but maybe this will actually show up in the box when a Nintendo Switch 2 is released. But we actually have even more pictures of the Nintendo Switch 2. So this is for the grip. Some pictures of the dock also leaked out. And I think this was the person who actually had their hands on the Nintendo Switch 2 a few days before the trailer or whatever. So I'm going to assume this is all legit, you know what I mean? So these are the pictures right here. And I think this is the bottom of the dock. This would be the back down here, and this would be the front. I think the front is rounded. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. This is the front, and this is the back down here. But it seems like there's like ridges on it or something, right? And then here is the inside of the dock. So this is where your Nintendo Switch 2 will go. I don't have a Nintendo Switch dock, so I can't compare it. Like, I do have a dock, but it's not an official one. Side note, I have this dock right here from a Nintendo Switch, and you can just plug your Switch in and plug this into the TV. I'm actually really excited for Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, like the Chinese knockoff ones, because they always have really cool stuff that has a practical use and is a lot smaller and also a lot cheaper. So yeah, I can't compare it to this, but I guess that's where your Nintendo Switch 2 would go, right? Here is the back, which essentially just looks like the back of the dock. You can see the ports right here. I think that's the Ethernet port, and then this would be the USB and the HDMI. I was hoping for at least one more USB port, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I can't remember in the reveal trailer if they showed the back of the dock or not. And then here is the other side. I wonder what this would be right here. Maybe just for your cords to go in, or maybe, are those extra ports right there? I think these are USB ports right here. I think, right? That's kind of what it looks like. I could be wrong, but this seems like USB ports. So maybe there's 3 USB ports on the Switch 2 dock. And if that's the case, that's really cool. You can plug in some controllers. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what else you can plug in, but more ports is better. So I was reading on a tech website, and it says these pictures have been shared online on a Chinese forum by users who obtained a CAD model of the console last year. And I think this might have been the person who paid like $40,000 on the black market for the Switch 2. So maybe not the person I was thinking about earlier. But it's highlighting some changes over the current dock, including what looks like a grid on the base of the dock, would suggest a change in the cooling and air intake over the current model. And even though that seems like something so minimal, changing the cooling and air intake makes me think that they're not worried about it overheating, but they're going to need more air coming in because it's a more powerful console, basically. Like, the games are going to be stronger, the console is going to be running, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, like running harder. God, this sounds so stupid. It's going to be more taxing on the console because the console is going to be working harder. Again, that does not sound like what I'm trying to say, but in my head it makes sense. So essentially, they're going to need more air coming in to cool off the console. So that makes me think the console is going to be pretty powerful, the games are going to be pretty taxing, and essentially, this is just all good news. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could hit a like and subscribe and follow me on all my social medias, that would really mean the world to me, especially as a birthday present. It does not take anything but a click of a few buttons, and it would really help this community grow. So I'd really appreciate that. And I'm probably going to stream today. I'm not sure what time, but yeah, I'm going to stream sometime today. So come hang out. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.